We've now got gameplay for the Human Torch and the Thing, so we're going to be breaking it down all in this video for both heroes. So let's get straight into it, and we're going to be pausing it to explain exactly what's going on, because we managed to figure out pretty much what their abilities do in total. So as you can see here for the Human Torch, we'll pause this quickly. He's got 250 HP, which is not a lot. He is a flying hero, as you can see, and he's got his fireball attacks here as well, and he's also got this right click, which we'll go on to explain in a moment. The shift, we don't quite know what it is yet, but I do think it's basically like a dash fly. That is basically what I think this is, kind of similar to Iron Man, where he could fly around a lot quicker. Then he's also got this E ability, which again we'll get on into in just a moment. And then we also have his dive attack, but again we'll get on into that in a moment. So as you can see here, he's doing some fire damage, and this is his right click attack essentially. So he's throwing the fireballs as normal, but on top of that, he's pressing the right click, which is basically giving it spell field damage on top of the standard fireballs. So you're going to get fireballs plus spell field damage, which deals extra damage. Then on top of that, he then decides to go ahead and do his F, which is a dive, which deals around about maybe 100 damage plus some knockback. We'll see the knockback in just a moment in action right now. So as you can see here, he's doing the exact same thing, and he's knocked back the two enemies off of this high ground here. So as you can see, he's doing a lot in terms of his abilities, and this is where we get to see his E ability essentially. So as you can see here, he's firing down the right click. So this is the right click where it does spell field damage, and then what this does after he fires down 4 of these, he then presses the E and it connects them all together, and that creates some firewalls. So as you can see here, it's connecting firewalls. So if you're standing on the firewall, you're taking damage. I'm not too sure how much damage, and inside the wall, so let's say you're inside the square, we don't really know exactly if you're going to be taking damage, a slow effect, or anything at all for that matter, or if it's just on the actual line itself. We don't know yet until we obviously get our hands on the hero, so we will be making a full breakdown of this hero when it does officially drop. But again, carrying on with the gameplay here, as you can see, he's firing down against the enemy players. And again, a closer look at the actual skin itself, pretty cool. So this is his ultimate ability, so we want to quickly explain how this works. So his ultimate attack, he's firing down, and basically he's firing a tornado down. So he fires down the tornado, it's dealing damage, as you can see here, but then there's a Luna ult behind that, so it's not dealing as much damage as it possibly can do. So that is essentially his ultimate by itself. Then we have a team up ability with Storm. So as you can see here, Storm uses her ultimate to go inside the Human Torch's ultimate and deal extra crazy amounts of damage. So that is what's happening right there. So that is all the details we know so far for Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. Moving on into the big guy now, the Thing, and this is the one I'm personally excited for, and we'll see his abilities played through this as well. Closer look at the skin, as you can see here, and he does look pretty cool. And as you can see here, he's coming up against Winter Soldier, who's one of probably the best tank busters in the game. So as you can see here, he's dealing tons of damage with his punches. So this is his standard attack. But then also, if you press the right click, or if you hold in, I think, he basically does a charged punch. So as you can see here, he's doing standard punches, then he ends it off with a charged punch, which basically reaches a further distance as well. And as you can see, he starts off with 700 HP, so slightly different to some of the other Vanguards. Hulk has a little bit more, and again, we've got Vanguard's lesser health than the Thing, but he's got so many other abilities that we'll need to explain as well. But like I said, that charged punch is pretty insane. Then he has a shift ability, which is a charged run, which lasts about 5 seconds here. As you can see, the bar lasts 5 seconds, but also gives him shields. So as you can see here, he goes from 700 HP to 900 HP with his shield ability. And basically, he runs at the enemies, displacing them out of position. So if they are in position in front of him, they're going to get knocked back, and he ends it with a slam. So he always ends it with a slam to the ground, and as you can see here, it breaks the map around him, which is absolutely insane. And this can be for pretty much any map in this game, so this is great at taking down cover as well. He's going to be very unique in that aspect for taking down cover very, very quickly. But as you can see, the shift has a 10-second cooldown, which we can see at the bottom right-hand side of the screen here. Then he does his charged punch, which basically just annihilates 2 enemies so quickly. I think that the Thing's going to be so broken in terms of damage because of how much damage he's just outputting, which is crazy. And you see that here as well. So as you can see, this is now his E ability. Now what's so special about this, he dives forward. So as you can see, he jumps forward, which is pretty cool. So he covers a huge amount of distance doing that. And especially if you're on some high ground, you're jumping down, this could be pretty insane. But then he also has these bits of ground or bits of concrete or whatever he's made out of circling around him. Now what this looks like to me is, once he kills an enemy, so as you can see here, he's fighting Iron Fist, and once he kills Iron Fist when he's in this state, he then starts to gain HP because he's killed an enemy. So that's what this looks like. So unless this is doing something else, I'm not really too sure, or if he's getting healed by someone that we cannot see. But from the looks of it, he's not getting like healed by anyone. But because obviously we'd see if it was an Adam Warlock or whatever it is, we would see that. But he's actually gaining HP back by just killing someone. I think it's activated only when you kill someone, which is pretty insane. But this has a really quick cooldown, and you can use 2 of these jumps. So as you can see here, he's now gaining HP back, and he's fighting with the Hulk, which is absolutely insane. So as you can see here, fighting with the Hulk, and he basically takes him out. Obviously, he has the same team up ability with Wolverine as well. So as you can see, he's launching him into the air, and Wolverine goes flying once again. So that is pretty standard stuff. Then he uses his dive, which is the E attack once again. And I'm not too sure if this kind of blocks some incoming damage. I don't know if that's what these kind of bits of concrete are, that they actually kind of block some damage for you. So it doesn't really give you any extra shields or anything. It just basically blocks the damage if someone ends up hitting that instead of you. So they need to time their shots correctly. Maybe that's what this does. But now he's using his charged run again. And as you can see, he's got that extra shield HP. So he's running forward. Now he's displacing the enemy. So as you can see here, he's displaced Hela all the way up there. And again, he's ended it in a slam again, which is a good radius there and is super punch essentially. So again, we've got pretty much his abilities down now. The last thing left is his ultimate ability, which again is pretty insane. So this jump dive thing is going to be super important. Charged run, and then this is his ultimate attack right here. So basically his ultimate, he slams the ground. So as you can see, he basically slams the ground, everyone gets launched up into the air, and then he basically does a charge punch to finish them off. And that's part of the ultimate, I believe. But that is basically how Benjamin Grimm, the Thing, will be making full guides on both of these heroes and explaining all their abilities and how to use them in a future video. But if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.